Welcome to episode 221 of Your Career Podcast. Welcome back to Your Career Podcast. Now today it's just me and I have some important questions to ask you about your career. You know how during my podcast interviews with my guests, I always ask them what their early career aspirations were when they were a little boy or a little girl? Well, we've had some really interesting answers, and for a few of my guests, they actually realized those childhood career dreams. Now, did you have a dream career when you were young? And if you did, what happened to that dream? Interestingly, I was reading this survey by Flex Jobs, and only 10% of adults work in their childhood dream career. Interesting, isn't it? I don't know if you realize that. And how have your dreams and career aspirations changed over the years? And where are you now? I'd really love to know. Drop me an email at jane@janejacksoncoach.com and let me know, or pop it in the comments in my podcast page at janejacksoncoach.com/podcast. And I'd really love to know how your career aspirations have changed, what you're doing now, what's working, what's not working. Just comment away, it'd be great. Now, I've got some questions for you as well. Are you satisfied in your career? Do you wake up each morning with a spring in your step, looking forward to all you'll accomplish professionally that day? Are you eager to work with your team in person or remotely? Do you admire or respect your manager? And does your physical work environment make you feel energized and inspired? Now, over the past 20 years as a career coach, and I've been coaching for a long time now, almost all of the clients I've worked with have come to me because they've said no to some or most of those questions I just asked you. And most of them have come to me not because they decided to do something about that situation of their own volition, but because they had gone through a redundancy or had lost their job for one reason or another, and they needed to get professional support to get back on their feet. When I asked them how they felt about the redundancy, many had said that they'd been unhappy for years. However, they didn't do anything about it because they were afraid to make a change. Are you afraid to make a change if you're not feeling 100% happy? Don't you think that life is too short to be unhappy or to feel unfulfilled? A saying that I really like is, life is too short to live with regrets. So let's think, moving forward, no regrets. Are you with me? Are you going to wait until you're pushed away from something, or are you going to take action and gain control of your career, safeguard your future, and create the career and life that you really desire? Because I reckon that right now, there is no time better than the present to start creating that life and career that you know you deserve. What do you think? Now, Flex Jobs, back to that survey I mentioned earlier, conducted a survey between July and August this year, 2021, and asked over 4,600 workers about their careers and what they really want from a job. While many people stepped away from the paid workforce due to the COVID pandemic, and you know how hard that has been with all the furloughs and being stood down, the majority are now ready to return to work, but so many have decided that they may not return to the same career. Now, here's what's really interesting. There are 3 top reasons that people want to change careers, and I wonder if any of these relate to you. Here are the top 3, okay? Number 1 is better work-life balance. And according to that survey, it's 56% want to change careers because they want a better work-life balance. They're fed up of working to the bone, having no life outside of work. 50% said they want higher pay, so they want more money to be able to do the things that they want to do. And the third said, that's 49%, said they want a more meaningful or fulfilling career. So work-life balance is number one, greater remuneration is number two, and three is something more meaningful or fulfilling. I find that really interesting. Now, other reasons that people want a career change, according to this survey, are to expand their professional skill set, keep growing. They change because there's a lack of advancement or growth opportunities in their current career. Some maybe want to make a change because they're approaching retirement and they're looking for something different as their second act in their life, if you know what I mean. Others want to change because they really want to pursue a passion or a hobby and turn it into a career, or else they want to make a change because their current career has never really been a good fit. It's never felt quite right. Others want to turn a side hustle they've been working on into a full-time career and might now be ready. Or else some have completed the necessary training or education and now are ready to make that step and really take control of their career, armed with those additional qualifications. So what have you been thinking this year? What does your dream career look like? I want you to just think, take a deep breath, close your eyes, and just dream for a little bit. What would be the dream for you? And don't put limitations on yourself. Just dream away and just think, if there were no barriers, if I could wave a magic wand and say, okay, anything that's holding you back is now gone overnight, what would you be doing tomorrow? Interesting. What would you be doing? It's really lovely to dream, but it's even better to set exciting goals that will make your heart race a bit and work towards achieving them. This is what I really love doing with my clients, and there's nothing more invigorating for me than helping you as a client get clear on what you really want and then set those steps to get from A to B, to get from your current state to your desired state. And if that desired state will really make you happy, well, then that's what really makes me happy. Nothing better than being a career coach. It's honestly the past 21 years coaching people into more rewarding, satisfying, higher paid careers has been intensely rewarding for me, because my career anchor is dedication to a cause or service. I wonder what yours is. Now, have you read The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, or The Chronicles of Narnia? Wonderful book. I loved it when I was little, and they were favorite books of mine when I was growing up, and I love the way that C.S. Lewis wrote. And what's interesting is that he once said, "You are never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream." I honestly believe that is so true. So I'd like to ask you a few questions to get you thinking about what's important to you. Do you ever feel that you're wandering around in the midst of it in your job or your entire career? Do you have the feeling that there is something not quite right, and yet you can't put your finger on it specifically? You're just not happy when you think you should be happy. Are there times when things are okay, they're fine, but it just doesn't feel like it's enough? Fine is not great, is it? It's just fine. So it doesn't really make you happy or make your heart sing. I've felt that too. And over the years, I've realized that one major factor has been because one or more of my top driving values, personal and career values, they all meld into one, but one or two of my top values, the really, really driving values, were not met where I was working. Now, for most of us, 1/3 of our life will be spent at work. That's over 90,000 hours over the course of a lifetime. That's a lot of hours, and it's too big a chunk of life to be unhappy. So what can we do about it? There are 2 questions you must ask yourself. Actually, there are 3 questions that I want you to ask yourself. Are you ready? Get a pen and paper and write this down. Okay, you can just pause the podcast and then write it down. First question I want you to ask yourself, what are my top values? Second question, what really makes me feel satisfied at work? And the third question is, what consistently makes me feel dissatisfied? So what makes me feel satisfied and what makes me feel dissatisfied? If you think back over your past few roles, there'll be a common thread that keeps coming through, and that will tell you what it is that you must ask in job interviews, for example, to ensure that you're not marketing yourself into another undesirable environment. Now, in order to take control of your career and create that life that you deserve, you need to understand the following things. Okay, again, write all of these down, okay? Here are all the things that you need to understand. I'm going to go through them one at a time. First of all, the values that drive you. You must know what's important to you. Secondly, what motivates and demotivates you. You've got to be clear. If you're not clear on that, then you're still going to be continuing to wander around in the mist. The third thing you must know is what your true career anchor is, the anchor that holds you steady. Because if you veer away from your true anchor, you're not going to be happy. Identifying career anchors is one of the things that I work on with my clients. They love it because it's so true once they understand what their anchor is. And so many have an aha moment as to, that's why I've been unhappy. Now I know. And when you know what your career anchor is, any opportunities that are presented to you, you ask yourself, will this enable me to fulfill my anchor or not? It makes decision-making so much easier. What you also must know are the skills and the knowledge that you bring to any role. Now, add something to this here, not just the skills and knowledge that you bring to any role, but the skills that you enjoy using. And you need to understand the skills that you prefer not to use even though you're good at them. Because if you keep doing something because you do it really well, but you don't enjoy it, you're going to be headed for burnout. Also, who are the people that you'd like to surround yourself with? What type of people? What sort of culture? What sort of personalities is it that that make you feel inspired? And then finally, I want you to ask yourself, what is the legacy that you want to leave so that you know that your life mattered? We all want to have our lives validated, don't you think? And if you know that you're leaving a legacy that's important to you, everyone's legacy is different, then if you achieve what will enable you to leave that legacy, then when it comes time to check out and say sayonara, goodbye in your life, you'll know, you know what, I've led a good life, I've achieved what I wanted to achieve, and I can go now. You'd be so proud of yourself that you lived a life well and you did what you wanted to do and you left the legacy that you want to leave. So think about that. Now, if you need some support to do this right, I can help you with all this and much more in the Careers Academy. You can find out more by going to thecareersacademy.online, and you can have a look at my show notes and the links will be there, but it's thecareersacademy.online, because I have so many free resources for you, as well as fantastic online career programs for job search and also career growth. So of course it's for job seekers, but it's not just for job seekers. If you're in your career and you want to progress in your career, I have a lot of career growth resources too. So go and check it out. The link is in my show notes. And if you want to join me every Monday morning for a little bit of inspiration and motivation to start your week, whether you're a job seeker or whether you're going back to work, okay, so a bit of inspo from me for 15 minutes for free every Monday morning. Join me at 9:15 and I go till 9:30 Sydney or Melbourne time, Monday mornings. That's Sunday if you're in the US. And I'll be broadcasting live on LinkedIn directly from my profile to give you 15-minute shot of inspiration and motivation to kickstart your job search week or your week at work. So all you need to do is go to my LinkedIn profile, which is linkedin.com/in/Jane Jackson at 9:15 a.m. on Mondays. And you'll see that my LinkedIn banner, that background banner, it'll change. It'll turn from an image into a live video. Click on that live video and you'll join the live broadcast, and you can ask me questions. Just type in the chat box. I'll answer right away. And it's always nice to see some familiar faces there as well. So every single Monday morning, 9:15 a.m., Australian Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be LinkedIn Live, and I provide 15 minutes of career advice and guidance. In fact, let me just tell you some of the things I've covered off the past 11 weeks, because I've been going for nearly 3 months now. How to write accomplishment statements, different resume layouts, resume do's and don'ts, how to write a powerful profile section in your resume, job interview preparation, your intro statement, common questions, and how to answer them in interviews, behavioral interview questions, how to write a follow-up email, and also what was really popular just the other Monday, I explained how recruiters perceive you, rightly or wrongly, and what you can do to appear more valuable to recruiters. And as I record this, my next one's going to be how to write a powerful cover letter. So there's plenty of things that I'm going to cover. So just join me Monday mornings on LinkedIn, and I'll give you valuable tips to take control of your career, covering a different topic every week. Okay, so I hope to see you there. Now, that's all for now. I want you to think about why people leave their jobs or why people change careers. What is it that makes you want to change careers? Is it that you want a better work-life balance? Is it that you want higher pay? Is it that you want a more meaningful or fulfilling career? And if you feel really stuck, then of course, reach out to me at janejacksoncoach.com. That's my main website, or go to thecareersacademy.online, and doors will be swinging open very soon. I've been creating so many wonderful online programs for you, and you can get one-on-one coaching and group coaching. It's worth checking out anyway, and also download my free resources. That's it for now. Have a wonderful week ahead, and I look forward to seeing you in episode 222 of Your Career Podcast. Bye now. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Your Career Podcast. You know I love providing career inspiration and advice, as I'm on a mission to make careers guidance and support accessible and affordable to all who need it. If you like this support, please buy me a coffee. I love a skinny cappuccino, and you can do so by going to buymeacoffee.com/Jane Career Coach. I wonder if you will. Now, I've more support for you at www.thecareersacademy.online too, and plenty of free resources that you can also download. So thanks for listening. Stay safe and stay well.